Hello, my name is Rhonda Brown. This is my presentation for EDL 852 Building Leadership, Critical Analysis for Vision and Mission Statements. So first, just a little bit about me. I have been a teacher since January of 2008. I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education. I also have a master's degree in early childhood unified and have taken additional graduate level hours for an endorsement in low incidence special education. My current position is I'm working as a special education coaching specialist for South Central Kansas Special Education Co-op out of Pratt. I'm assigned to 5 school districts. I support the special education teachers in those districts. I can provide support with writing IEPs, behavioral interventions, academic and autism interventions, special education law compliance, and any other areas that are not covered by the school psychologist. I'm out in those districts at least weekly or making contact with those teachers at least weekly. I am a member of our cooperative's autism intervention team and multidisciplinary support team, and I am also a mentor for one first year and one third year special education teacher. So now transitioning into my critical analysis for vision and mission statements. First of all, just defining what vision and mission statements are. A vision statement is a statement of the long-term goals and objectives of the school or district. It does outline where the school wants to go, and it's also a reflection of the school's overall values. A mission statement is a little bit more narrow. It's a statement of the ways in which the school or district will achieve that vision, and it outlines the steps that they'll take to achieve that vision. It can also include things like technology and resources that are available to help achieve that vision. Vision and mission statements should include input from stakeholders. They should not just be written by district administration or school administration. The writing of these vision and mission statements should be based on input from the stakeholders, as well as data that clearly indicates where the school or program is at the current time and where it strives to be in the future. So it should be an inclusion of a snapshot where the school is, but also where the school wants to be and what the school or district wants for its students. Both vision and mission statements should contain observable and measurable characteristics so that their effectiveness can be evaluated, and so that the fidelity to the practices, goals, and objectives that are within those vision and mission statements can be evaluated. So, in the same way that as a special educator, we collect data in order to evaluate whether or not students are progressing towards the stated goals on their IEP. We should be collecting data to indicate whether or not the district or school is progressing towards the goals and objectives that are in their mission and vision statements. So, why should a school even have a vision and mission statement? Well, according to the University of Massachusetts, one of the most important functions of a vision statement is to guide school decision making. So, the vision statement shouldn't be just a statement that is up on the wall somewhere, a statement that's on the webpage somewhere. It should actually have a guiding effect on everyday practice. Mission and vision statements also provide a guide for parents and students so that they can evaluate whether the district or school is showing fidelity to an implementation of the core values that are stated in those vision and mission statements. And it also helps to be able to measure consistency between the vision and mission statements. And that consistency is actually what is going to help lead to higher levels of trust between stakeholders and schools. If there's consistency between what we say we're going to do and what we're actually doing day to day, then that's going to lead to higher levels of trust between the school and the community, the parents, and the students. So, what should a school vision statement include? Well, a vision statement is a clear statement about the core values of the school. It should also have some concise statements about what the school hopes to achieve for its students. And it's a challenge for the school to live up to the highest expectations, including the expectations for the promotion of the highest level of success for the students, for the staff, and for the other stakeholders like community members. It should also include, as I said before, measurable and achievable goals. So we want to make sure that those goals are something that we are able to measure and see if we're actually making progress toward. So when we're looking at a mission statement is a little bit different. Like a vision statement, it should contain the name of the school, but it should also contain concise statements that relate to the daily processes, procedures, and tools that will help students and staff to achieve the vision of the school. So examples of this include what technology are we using? How are we providing curricula that is going to help to achieve the school's vision? How are we providing social emotional learning to students? Because as we know, if we don't regulate students, we can't educate them. So what are we using as far as social emotional learning? How do we use data to evaluate the effectiveness of our practices? How do we implement equity, diversity, and how do we measure community impact and involvement in our schools? It should include some statements about how the staff and administration are going to use those processes, procedures, and tools to facilitate student learning and student success. And it should include statements that align with the values and priorities of the school stakeholders, who, as I said before, should be consulted when we're writing a mission statement. So, how do we create and implement effective vision and mission statements? Well, first of all, effective vision statements are created through the following steps. We have to assemble a team of stakeholders. That means that the vision statement is not just based on what a few administrators believe should be happening. It's not just a statement made up by some principals and superintendents. It's going to include members of different groups, such as teachers, parents, students, administrators, even community members. People are much more likely to have some buy-in and to implement these things with fidelity and show enthusiasm for the goals that we have set if they've helped to create them. And we know that as educators because we have students create their own goals, so that they're more likely to have that buy-in and show enthusiasm for those goals. It should identify what the long-term goals are for the school as a team first, and then identify the daily processes, procedures, and values that are going to help you reach those long-term goals. Then we're going to write a rough draft and present that to stakeholders so that we can get feedback. Again, we need that buy-in from those stakeholders, from those teachers, from those students, from those community members. We're going to revise and present it again to staff, students, and other stakeholders to make sure that we understood the feedback and have implemented that in the way it was intended. And then we're going to display them and connect them to daily practice. So it's not just something on the website, it's not just something hanging up in the hallway, it's something that actually guides the daily practice of educators, administrators, and students within the school. So now for the critical reflection of mission and vision statements. I work for South Central Kansas Special Education Cooperative, and the vision statement that I was able to find on the website is fostering joy, hope, and purpose for all. This does express values that are held by the cooperative, but it isn't very specific in its vision for the students. It doesn't say how we're going to get there, and it doesn't say what that means, what joy, hope, and purpose for all means. So it's a little bit broad and vague. That was my take on it. It's a little bit broad and vague. I was unable to find a mission statement that was associated with this vision statement, so it could be revised to include more specific goals for the cooperative and its students, and it could also be coupled with a mission statement that's going to outline how the long-term goals for the cooperative are going to be achieved. I've worked for SCK SEC for about 3 years, and I know that this vision statement has not been revised in the last 3 years. I do believe that this vision statement was probably put together by administrators and the board, but I am not positive because it hasn't been revised recently. The cooperative does provide educational resources to help students help foster joy, hope, and purpose for students. We have support personnel, we have technology, curriculum, and other resources that align with these core values that are expressed in the vision statement. So some examples of that are iPads and MacBooks for staff and student use, an instructional resource center that has curriculum resources and um, things such as furniture and toys and games that can be sent out to staff for their use in the districts. And then we also have support personnel like myself. I'm a special education coaching specialist. I do support 5 different districts, and so I'm out in those districts on a regular basis. And I go there and provide whatever support the special educators, administrators, and teachers within the school need in regard to special education students. So we also have specialists, such as we have a transition specialist that works with students um, and their parents and teachers to make sure that they are accessing the community resources that they have the right to access, and that make sure that transition plans within their IEPs are implemented as they should be. Make sure that those transition plans are based upon um, transition assessments that are done and the interests of the student, and make sure that those are all relevant to the student's education and to helping that student, um, helping foster joy, hope, and purpose for that student. So, some concluding statements as it applies to these mission and vision statements. I've listed here the course learning outcome and program learning outcomes that are that apply to this assignment. So, course learning outcome is to collaboratively evaluate, develop, and communicate a school mission and vision designed to reflect a core set of values and priorities that include data use, technology, equity, diversity, digital citizenship, and community. The program learning outcome is mission, vision, and improvement to promote the current and future success and well being of each student and adult by applying the knowledge, skills, and commitments necessary to collaboratively lead, design, and implement a school mission, vision, and process for continuous improvement that reflects a core set of values and priorities that include data use, technology, equity, diversity, digital citizenship, and community. So, the correlation between this assignment and those course learning outcomes, um, this course assignment does correlate to those course outcomes. In that this assignment directly addresses aspects that are important to include in developing school vision and mission statements, the steps that are involved in developing those, and further steps that are needed to assess the effectiveness of those statements and their impact on everyday practice within the school environment. I was pleasantly surprised to learn that a lot of these articles contained not only how to write the vision and mission statements, but how to make sure that are those become a part of daily practice within the school environment, and that they are relevant and um, held in high regard by staff, students, and other stakeholders. As far as the relevance of this course assignment to my current practice, first, I believe that the organization that I work for has a vision statement that might need to be revised. So I may need to have a conversation with my supervisor to either clarify what my understanding of the vision statement is, or to start that process of revision. Secondly, it also brings to mind that I may need to review the vision and mission statements of the schools that I support. That isn't something I thought to do before now, but if those vision and mission statements are available in those schools, I should know what they are, because my job is to support the teachers in that the teachers, the faculty, and the students in that school district. So I should know what those vision and mission statements are for the 5 districts that I support teachers in, to help them understand that mission and vision statement, and also how that relates to their current daily practice and what they're doing with students on a regular basis. Um, and reflection, how this assignment has prepared me for future school leadership roles. It helps me to understand the importance not only of having those effective school vision and mission statements, but also the importance of having school stakeholders like teachers, parents, and community members and students involved in that process of developing those statements. It's also highlighted the importance of connecting those school vision and mission statements to the practice of everyday teaching in those schools, everyday administration in those schools, so that we ensure that the school is seen as relevant, trustworthy, and cohesive by students, parents, and community members. Okay, I also included a slide that shows the references for the presentation that I've put together. And these are those references, um, along with the articles that we were asked to review for this assignment. I've also included the website for my employer, South Central Kansas Special Education Co-op. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you all later in class. Thank you.